What's up, guys? Andrew here from cultureofgaming.com, and I recently just got back from a trip to Las Vegas from Evolution 2018, the biggest fighting game tournament in the world. You know, there was tons of entries, over 2,000 entries in at least 2 games, and more for some of the even smaller games. And don't even get me started on the side games. Plenty of side games, anything from Windjammers to the Fist of the North Star game. What is it? What's it called? No-Ken? I don't know. Anywho, tons of great stuff. But I want to talk about a little bit about what people don't see there, and that's the indie games. There's actually the people at the Mix, the indie games. They run a whole booth there, and there's tons of games, probably like a dozen games or so there. I want to talk about my top 3 favorite games that I got to see, I got to play, I got to talk a little bit to the developers, and just kind of, highlight these games that may or may not be on everyone's radar. So we're going to start it off, we're going to kick this list off, so I hope you enjoy. The first game I want to talk about is called At Sundown. And it's an interesting little title. It's kind of a 3D take on the kind of Tower Falls and the samurai gun style. So basically, there's up to 4 players. There's teams. You can have, I want to say you can have teams of 2, maybe more. It seems like it could be more teams. But there's teams that teams are free for all. And you're in an arena, 3D arena, and your goal is to kill each other. That's it. That's the goal of the game. However, it is a little more complicated than that because you can't see your actual character. Well, you can sometimes. When you're running around the arena, there's lights, and if you go into the light, you'll be seen by everybody. So it's kind of on you to kind of feel where you're at, try and guess where some other people are, or if they make a mistake, you can see them. And then if you attack, you shoot your weapon, obviously you're able to be seen. Which brings me to my next point, the weapons in the game, which makes it feel really good, is that there's a variety of weapons. I started off with a shotgun because, hey, shotgun sounds easy, it covers a huge space, and you're able to just take people out pretty easily with the shotgun. There's also weapons for people who really want to, get really crafty with it, because there's things like sniper rifles, swords. There's also explosives. So each gun has or each weapon, should I say, not gun, has a alternate fire. So whereas like the shotgun, it would have, instead of shooting one shot, you would shoot your entire clip. So you have this huge burst of weapons going down. And you could have twin revolvers, and instead of just having kind of a spray with revolvers and a decently sized clip, they would bounce off the walls, and you could catch your opponents from the wall bounce shots. My favorite weapon, however, was the umbrella, which is kind of a silly weapon, but it's basically a kind of like a sword. You're getting this dash attack, and you're taking people out really quick, but you're also able to block incoming bullets for a limited time. You hold the umbrella out, open it up, and when the bullets come in, boom, they bounce right back off, and you can kill your opponents with their own reflecting bullets, which is really satisfying and a ton of fun to kind of guess, oh shoot, I messed up, I swiped wrong. Let me open my umbrella, see if I can catch him with his own fire, or their own fire. So it's really cool, it's a really interesting game. It's actually out soon, it should be out, according to the website, according to the guys I talked to, out this summer, 2018, so that gives it like a couple months. We'll see though. It seems ready, it seems like they're ready to go. So I'm looking forward to that one. Keep an eye out. It's on PS4, Xbox One, even the Switch, and of course Steam. So you can check that out. These guys over at, oh boy. But yeah, make sure to check out At Sundown. It looks great. I'm looking forward to that one. Next up on my list is a really weird game. It's not a fighting game. You would think fighting games come from Evo. Fortunately, not a fighting game, but still a competitive game, taking the competitive nature. It's called SUPERIMPOSSIBLEROAD. This game may sound familiar because the Impossible Road is actually an old mobile game. And what I believe, this plays very similar. basically you're just a ball. There's a ship, and you're going down these procedurally generated roads, and they're windy, they're crazy, they're all over the place. And your goal is just to get to the end. That's it. Simple. However, you can fly off the road, and you have a limited time before you quote unquote die. So you're able to fly off the road, try and hit the road at a different spot, and keep your momentum going. They say cheating is winning in this game. So you're actually trying to jump off the road at certain points and bounce off it and keep rolling. There's also a boost in the game, which feels really nice. You're boosting, so you can boost in air to get to the ground faster and keep. Your goal is to win. It's a race between 4 people. I played against 3 other people. And it's actually on Steam Early Access right now, and it looks like they're talking about having daily challenges and daily tracks. So that's a cool way to not always have a procedurally generated track, if you're going for time trials, if you're going for stuff like that. It seems like they have the right idea there. So I'm actually really excited about that, and I don't even really like racing games all that much, but I had a really good time with Super Impossible Road. It's kind of like, just something kind of silly, but at the same time, really satisfying, and a game you can break out at any time, no matter who you're with, and you're gonna go, hey, these are the 2 buttons. You go and you boost. And whether or not they're good at it, because it is very tricky to control, it is to be seen. But I think that most people that have at least held a controller will be able to pick this up and have a good time with it. Last up on my list is probably my favorite for multiple reasons, because they're doing something really crazy over at Sector K Games, and they're making Punch Planet. You may have seen this before. It's been greenlit on Steam for quite some time, since about 2016. So it's been around, and maybe you've seen some inklings of it. But it's a 2D fighting game, and it's got this weird cyberpunk feeling, and great music, and excellent voice acting. But like I said, they're doing something crazy, and they're making an indie 2D fighting game. Something that is kind of unheard of these days. You look at the fighting games that are featured at EVO, and there are things like Tekken, things like Street Fighter, things like Dragon Ball Z Fighters, really big name games, and even the side tournaments. You do have the Skullgirls side tournaments, you do have these other smaller games, but these games don't come out very often. And I talked to a couple guys there, and they were like, because it's very hard. It's hard to balance. It's hard to create a fluid, nice, tight-feeling fighting game. I've played other fighting games that are developed by indie fighting games, and they don't feel nearly as close as good as the Punch Planet. Half the time I don't know what I'm doing in those games. It doesn't make sense, and they just feel bad. However, Punch Planet feels great. It's this weird mix of Street Fighter 4, but also taking some good stuff from other games. Everyone has universal parry, so you do this parry move, and it's a good get off me move, and it helps create space. And there's also this kind of focus dash cancel move, kind of like from Street Fighter 4. It lets you keep the pressure up. So if you're really into rush down, you're really into taking your opponent out and pressing them, you can use this skill to keep it up as long as you have the bar, the meter to do it. So it's really taking a lot of things from different fighting games and kind of mashing it into this nice 2D little cyberpunk package. And it's really coming along, and I really am excited to see what these guys do with it. I talked to developers, Sector K Games, there's 3 people working on this game for the most part, and they all have day jobs. So they're doing this game in their side project, and it's just a passion project for these guys. And they've really come a long way since 2016. Right now they have 6 characters released. They all feel great. They all feel different. There's a dog in the game. He's just a dog, and he kind of plays like Guy from Street Fighter 4, and the Street Fighter series in general. You got a big Amazon woman who's just a big tank character with really crazy normals. There's just tons of different characters. There's 6 different characters, but they all feel so unique and different, and just there's a lot of possibility to kind of play with each character and see which one you like, which one you gel with. And I think my favorite was Max. He was this big kind of bouncer alien character. Kind of played a little bit like Balrog. Not totally like that, but he had a command grab. He had the charge back and the punches. And overall, I was really, really impressed with Punch Planet. And they're looking to get to consoles. They're looking to come out, I think, this year, if not early next year. I could be wrong about that. If they're watching, I hope they'll get mad at me for saying that. But I think that's what they're looking to do. It's nothing set in stone. Video games are hard to make, right, guys? But yeah, Punch Planet, an excellent 2D fighting game that I think that people who really like Street Fighter 4 are gonna be like, yeah, this game is definitely on my alley. And also people who are getting into fighting games, because it's got a great look, it's got this great music, and I think there's not a lot to it. There's not a huge base behind it yet. So you're not jumping into this Street Fighter, this Tekken. Hey, I've been playing Tekken since Tekken 2. I know how to do the electric wind god fist. I do it in my sleep. I know I can do Ryu Shuriken in my every day for 2 hours. While those movements are still in the game, they're not integrated, like the frame rate is not integrated all the way yet. So it opens it up for multiple people, whether they play the game or not. And I think it's going to be an excellent fighting game that hopefully gets some more funding, and we can see even bigger, more grander stuff on the scale that Sector K Games wants it. But those are my top 3 indie games at the mix from Evolution 2018. I had a blast at EVO. Tons of great fighting games were played, and just competitive nature in general. I definitely recommend, if you've never been to an Evolution, if you're all into fighting games, and the grand spectacle of it all, whether it's Dragon Ball's craziness, Street Fighter's more meticulous approach, and my favorite right now is Tekken, and Tekken just blew me out of the water. It was fantastic. If you haven't been to Evolution, go. Make sure you check out the the mix booth. Great people are working there, and they're always showing off great games. So that's my list of top 3 indie games I'm looking forward to. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to check out cultureofgaming.com, and I'll see you next time.